today. From First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, it's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
The folks here, they are bundled up, but they're ready for football as you get a look at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel, and they're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Time to see this wide-open Baltimore offense go to work, and leading them, pretty darn good one, Lamar Jackson out of Louisville.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
two touchdown passes last week.
Two touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes us forward for about 6. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're open to do it. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From his end zone, it's Demetric Felton. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Browns set to go on offense for the first time, led by Baker Mayfield in his 4th season now from Oklahoma.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Play fake. Mayfield. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. 2nd and 10. A very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive. And they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big time pickup for them. And now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
1st down, Mayfield. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, you got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
From the 27, Mayfield. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Mayfield now. That's going to be brought in by Higgins. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 15-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. And the Browns are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Well, Brandon, obviously no panic in them. They gave up the touchdown. You know, their defensive side did that. But he's already taken them back downfield. I love this field general that they've got. It's almost like he went to the defensive captain and said, don't worry about it. We've got you. Now they got 1st and goal.
Yeah, we're seeing punch, counter punch, and this could be setting the table. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the 1st quarter, and we're tied 7-7. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the pistol, they run it with Murray. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Here's Jackson. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down. So on 4th down, the Ravens will call on Sam Cook to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
On 2nd and very short, Mayfield. He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after one. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. The 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7. But they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? From the gun, Mayfield being chased out left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Baker Mayfield with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Now Jackson on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Murray. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On first down, Murray. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Open man is Duvernay. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. They run from the shotgun with Murray, and he'll get 4 there down to about the 12-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels. A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
They go play action with Jackson. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Jadeveon Clowney picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Second down and goal. Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
A first down throw for Mayfield. Going deep here for Landry. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's Mayfield. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick 6? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. To throw is Jackson. Right back to Duvernay. That's complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now it's Jackson. Finds his tight end Oliver here outright. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Here's 2nd and goal operating from the 8-yard line. Jackson will throw again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Jackson now. And this is going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And with that last field goal, that puts him now at 300 made on his career, and that is something to celebrate.
And that puts him in the top 30 all time. So he's really made a mark, and he's got plenty of life left in that leg, that's for sure.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. One play has them to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. To throw, Mayfield. He's going to look deep now for Landry. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't
would do
even
for
know
them?
why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive as they go to work with 12 seconds on the clock. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And it's the Cowboys who are out in front. Amari Cooper with 3 touchdown receptions. From there, we're off to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And that game's all tied up as they play the visiting Jaguars. In the game you're watching, it's been Baker Mayfield with a strong first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The question to be asked, where does this game go from here as we are back at it now on EA Sports? And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Jarvis Landry and company heading back onto the field now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And just a yard to go here on second down. And again, it's Chubb. Uses the stiff arm. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A give. This is Chubb. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That's on the Pro Bowl guard, Joel Bitonio. Mayfield. That escapes the sack, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. Calais Campbell able to record his 5th sack of the season.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't have made the rush back in the pocket.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. A run for Nick Chubb. He juked him. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
These two teams getting a couple of late season tilts this year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in week 12. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Second down, here's Chubb again.
Uses the stiff arm. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. Able to slither by. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
This has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kareem Hunt, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
And they'll begin by running the option.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, you can absolutely feel the thought process there. They just gave up the touchdown. So in the huddle, they're telling each other, you don't want to give it back now on a 3 and out. Nice job of making sure that they wouldn't, and they pick up the first down.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. They run the option here on 1st and 10.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. We've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Throwing is Jackson. And he's got it. Got his man on the end round. Complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 35. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Jackson on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett It's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. From midfield now, here's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks, don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And this one is incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And this Browns defense stands tall. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 86 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Chubb with a 1st down carry as he'll get about 3 out of it. Make it 2nd and 7 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's taken down inside the 30.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Chubb on the counter. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Shifts by at the 15. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Chubb. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Now Chubb running right, and he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
McLaughlin now for the Browns field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field.
Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard, but that is not the case as we play on here this 4th quarter.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Now they got to get to the line quickly to try again after the sack. Jackson. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. To throw on 2nd and 10, Jackson.
He'll drop this down to Williams.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Jackson. Finding Williams once more, complete. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Cleveland, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they'll get another home date next week as the Raiders will come to town. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8-5. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.